Alrighty, good morning. And we're looking at the MES this morning, and I'm going to make the screen bigger and change the time frame this morning so we can see it better. So we're looking at the 4-hour chart here and trying to figure out what the next move is going to be. Kind of determined the last few days that I can usually guess pretty well. I'm decently well at guessing which direction it's going. The problem that I'm having is in dealing with my lost days. And so, if I can correct how I deal with those, I think that I am going to be golden. Hopefully, I can get myself back out of the hole and learn how to trade properly. So we've been kind of uptrending, and we've broken the blue SMA, generally speaking. So we have kind of set a pattern of going on this uptrend. However, we look at the MACD and we see that it's very much above average. So a drop below the average at some point here soon is expected and necessary. Don't know exactly when. It does look like it's kind of staying above the orange SMA here. In fact, it dropped almost down to it and started to show a little bit of a turn here. It's just beginning and it's not very strong yet. But there's the possibility of it bouncing at this point and heading up. All right, and we have our pink lines in here at the latest high here. And trying to find like a range. They call it like a supply area. So I'm kind of thinking this might act as a kind of a supply area right through here. It's a little tenuous. But we did get up right to the bottom of it. Very close to it, close enough, I'd say, and kind of dropped from that point. In fact, we could even probably lower that down just a little bit. I'm looking at the wicks over here, and when we do that, then we definitely see that that is where it hit, and it's a resistance level right there. So I think we'll leave that right there. That's good. Price line at this orange SMA here, because if it drops below that too far, then I would say that it is most likely going to have that drop that I was talking about that's coming. So, all right, and then the green line here, we're going to change that to blue because it matches the blue SMA. It just kind of helps us keep everything straight. Maybe move it down just a little bit. And then this one I would say is obsolete. We're going to get rid of that one, kind of clean up our screen a little bit, and maybe one more with the yellow SMA. How about that? And I think just about all the information that we can kind of glean from that 4-hour chart. So it looks like it's going to stay above the orange SMA and make a bounce. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's go to the 1-hour chart. And what we see here, we can see an uptrend for sure. It is holding at the gold SMA right here. This is definitely acting as a support right now. So this area right here, this is, I would call very much a supply area. So we're going to go ahead and put, let's see, the height would be like right there and down to the orange SMA, which is kind of an interesting point right there. So that would definitely be a supply area. When it breaks out of that area, then it will be a big tell. So we're going to put an alert at the top here. When it goes above that, that's a big deal. And when it, of course, drops below that, that's a big deal. Now, just because it triggers this alert doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to bounce because they're right at the edge there. So it would have to go beyond that pretty decisively for it to be a for sure thing. And once it breaks and makes a decision about which direction it's going, it's at that point then we can go back and reanalyze and see like where is it going to be heading to. All right, so let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to go right to the 15-minute. And here we can see more inclination for it to be dropping, I would say. And if we add in that way, we are below all of the SMAs and it's looking like it could easily drop. So that's kind of interesting. All right. And again, that box is pretty helpful, that supply and demand area box. So I'm kind of thinking, let's see, so what is the space? We've got like 20 points here, 30 points even, between 20 and 30 points range here. So that's definitely enough to trade on. So that supply and demand area is definitely going to be more of a longer term trading mentality than I think I will probably be using. So I may actually be using shorts and longs in this space this morning. It's a little bit risky, but as long as I get out before it breaks the floor or the ceiling, I think we'll be fine. Just want to be cautious, right? And if we zoom to the 5-minute chart, which is the next one, we kind of pinpoint exactly when to get into a trade. And at the moment, it looks like it's heading up, but you can see it reached a peak over here and is kind of dropping down. And then, of course, the 1-minute chart. And this is actually what we're going to be mostly trading on. And I got rid of the shorter term time frames over here until I went through my analysis. So let us leave the 5-minute chart up here on this screen and the 15-minute chart on this screen, and that will help us to make better trades, hopefully. So I'll leave it a little bit bigger on this one. All right, so what we're looking for is a good opportunity to get into a short. It looks like it's going to be making a drop down to the 56 area, which is down here, down at the bottom of these little valleys here. Okay, now the reason that I would not make a short right here on the 1-minute chart is definitely the MACD. It is tipping up. So, until then. All right, and we also want to make sure that we have a bracketed trade put in right away. All right, so that's actually looking pretty good. I'll go ahead and place the trade right here. And we're looking for it to drop right about there. All right, so my immediate thought is, okay, well, if it is dropping, how about we hope for some bigger things and kind of aim for more, the bottom of this channel, if that's really where we think it's going to go. So maybe I'd want to get in more up here, actually. And would be a fabulous trade, of course. I do want to try to get in at a good place. The other thing I need to work on is waiting for better entries, not just jumping in. So this might be one of those times, I don't know. 5-minute chart here is actually looking really good for a drop. So that's good. Maybe I'll lower this down to try to get in after all. 15-minute chart too, it's really low. It's way below the average line, but the MACD is actually looking really good. So somehow it got me into 2 positions. That is not possible, nor is it what I want. And that was definitely a glitch on this part. So we're going to go ahead and sell one of those. Oops, we're going to buy one of those, excuse me. And just have one trade in. With the account that I had, the account level that I had, I don't know why it took two trades there. That was weird. I'm starting to get disenchanted with Thinkorswim. There are so many glitchy things on it. Not super happy with that. I think I'm going to go ahead and move up the stop order to there. I'd like to move it above there. 76.60. That would be 16 points. That'd be $80. That'd be just a little bit more than I want to make in a day. It's actually not a bad idea. All right, let's try that. squeeze that down a little bit. All right, so if we put it up there, I still think it's going to drop. So I might actually move up my order to maybe more like this area right here. That would be a decent trade. See what that would be at 51. We got it at 60, so that's $50. That's not bad. Somewhere in there. All right, let's take a look at what's happened. It went up and hit the blue SMA here, and it looks like that is kind of acting as a resistance level. So that's pretty awesome. I do think it's probably going to be dropping down. Hopefully it will get down to the limit order I have set here. We shall see. MACDs are looking good on all the charts that it's going to be dropping. Well, okay, not the 15-minute chart. That's pretty low, and at the moment it's going up. Okay, we are just a few seconds away from opening bell. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That rise didn't really pan out very well. Now it seems to be dropping a little bit more. Very nice. Nice big drop. See if it continues. You know what? I think I might go ahead and lower the limit order down to here. Let's see. Work out pretty well. All right. Oh, the low didn't really pan out either. It just bounced right back up again. Interesting. I think this would be considered a not very good trade because we're still kind of stuck in this little band and it really hasn't broken out. When it breaks out, that's when you want to get into a trade. Looking good. We're testing that blue line and really close to my stop. Okay, so it tested that level and so far it is resisting. And now we can see on the 5-minute chart, we've definitely got a red candle so far. Not too quick to jump to that conclusion on the 15-minute chart. Looking good on the 1-minute chart. Looks like we're losing momentum here. See what it does when it gets down to that level again. If it's going to bounce up or if it's going to break through. More drop or a bounce. Bounce. It's thinking about it. Go ahead and drop this down. If it gets above that point, it's probably going to get up even further. I could get into a better place. MACDs are all looking pretty good on the longer term charts and still looking good on the 1-minute chart, though it's definitely finding some resistance right there. Not sure yet if it's going to break through even further or not. That looks good. That looks really good. It's very tempting for me to just get out at the $20 level right here. Do you think if it resists going up at all, getting down to this level is probably very likely? All right, got stopped out. Not terribly surprised, though on the 5-minute chart, the MACD is still looking very good, like it might drop, as well as the 15. Interesting point for it to make a little drop like that, because the MACD is still looking like it's going up. How about that? Big move. Right. I think I'll go ahead and put in my order there. And miss it. Oop, there it goes. All right, so move our stop up there and our limit down here, and let's try that again. Matter of fact, we could probably drop it down to there. It looks like it's kind of sitting on that support level right there on the 1-hour chart. So if it did drop below, this level right here, thereabouts. Let's see, let's expand that a little bit. Right there. It did drop below that. Too far. Let's see. Yeah. Then I'd say that would be a good thing for a bigger drop. Let's go ahead and put our exit order in a little bit higher there. Bring it up to that point. That's the lowest it's been today. All right, that looks, oh, it went right down to it and didn't take. Well, that's a shame. I think, honestly, I would have made more money with that had it not been paper trading, but whatever. Okay, it went up and triggered that alert just now. So that might be a really good place to get into a short here real soon. Let's go ahead and do it right there. It's kind of hesitating. And let's go ahead and, oops. Okay, I just got an alert. Oh my word. That was a shocker. Interesting. Well, I managed to lose as much as I'm trying to make today, but I did cap it at that. So that's good. And I would say it is attempting to break through the top of that. All right, so what do we do? Would I consider that a rejection candle and get into another short, or wait for it to go down and get into a long, or just stop for the day? 10 o'clock. Let's go out and, well, kind of know what's going on, but let's look at the longer term charts again. All right, I think we kind of determined that it has been uptrending. And if it gets below that orange line right there, which is way down here, it will be a drop. But so far, actually, it looks like we are forming a little bit of a bounce pattern here, and it probably will be going up. And the 1 hour chart also, MACD looks like it's gaining momentum as well. So I do think getting into a long here very soon is a good idea. I'm not sure that I'm correct about that going down. The MACD is the reason I'm not getting into a long quite yet, even though that's a pretty nice little candle right there. All right, let's look at the 5 and 15-minute charts again. Okay, yeah, could get down to 63, right around this area right here. And coffee just finished brewing, so I'll be right back. Well, I didn't get a chance to leave yet, and it triggered. And just crossed here. Okay, this is the point where I thought it would bounce. So I'm going to go ahead and get into a long here. That was not fair. Yeah, paper trading is just not really set up for good scalping, unfortunately. Okay, finally. All right, but unfortunately, now you can see my exit orders have canceled for some strange reason. So I got to go put them back in. That peak right there actually surpassed this last little peak here. That's kind of significant. I'm going to drop that exit order. Let's stop down a little bit so I don't get stopped out, because we've definitely broken through the resistance level on the 5-minute chart. We've broken through the top of the supply area that I drew in here. So I think the likelihood of it going up is definitely gained momentum. So I'm willing to take a little bit more of a risk because of that. So that's that. All right. Let's see what happens with that. Very nice. Nice move. Let's see, I put my exit order in, yeah. Now the peak here, the high was 82.25. So it's actually a little on the high side, I suppose. I hit in the top of that supply area and having trouble breaking through it again. That's a little concerning. It's just what it's struggling with right now. breakthrough, I think it'll be fine. Just hasn't quite done it again. MACDs on the 5 and 15-minute charts are still heading up. And the 1-hour chart has just crossed and is above average, but it is heading up, so that's good. Very nice setup. I like this. This is good. I like it when I can sandwich an order and then I'm happy with whichever order gets filled. Okay, this is just starting to tip over, so I'll lower this down and just get out. And again, that would have taken had it not been paper trading. Absolutely. All right, well, at least it did eventually take. That's good. Okay, so I've whittled my losses down a little bit. I've had, let's go look at the trades that I've made just from today. So I lost, oh yeah, that was the one where it got in 2 shorts. I don't know why. So I lost one, gained one, I lost one, and I gained one. So it's been a bit of a struggle. I mean, there's definitely evidence of it kind of making a bounce. You can kind of see a curve happening here, that it hit bottom and now it's rising. And you can see that on the 30-minute chart. And you can see it on the 1-hour chart for sure. Absolutely. It hit that gold SMA and I believe it's heading up. And it is actually attempting to break through the orange SMA at the moment. Even on the 4-hour chart, it does look like it's bouncing up. So I still think going long, which is a change from the original thing that I saw this morning, I think going long is good. So if we're going to go long, where do we want to get in? And we want to wait for a drop, of course. And so let's just wait and see what happens. Okay, that looks like a nice bounce spot. Very good. Accidentally placed a single order, so now I got to put in my exit orders here. Okay, the 5-minute and 15-minute charts are starting to lose momentum a little bit. That's a little concerning. 1-minute chart, though, it's currently dropping, but it's still above average here. So drop might not be totally shocking. Though it is interesting to look on the 30-minute chart here. We kind of hit the gold SMA and started to drop. So there's a resistance level right there, pretty much where I have my exit order. So actually I can see the resistance level at the top of that orange SMA as well. That is a little concerning. If it breaks through that, then we'll be fine. The MACD is turning up, so we're gaining momentum there. The RSI is going up, so it's gaining momentum there. I'm not too worried. We've already tested this level here and it held. So that says a lot. No, we shall see. Again, I'm lowering it down because I don't think it's going to be going down today. I really don't want to get stopped out. Looking at the 15-minute chart though over here, it does get below, let's see, what was it, 59, that level right there. Yeah, that's not good at all. So maybe I'll have to raise it up just a little. Yeah, that's a pretty big loss if I do get stopped out. That would be painful. It makes a pretty big move pretty quick. I think this is going to be a small loss day, hopefully, or a break-even day. So maybe I should have tried to get out here, not hoped for so much. there. I would have whittled back my losses a fair amount. It looks like the 1 hour, excuse me, the 1 minute chart may be bottoming out and gaining momentum going up. That's good. I'm going to switch over to my bigger account here and try to make a trade as well. 6, I think I can do 3, but we'll see if it'll take it. Oh, all right, it did. Cool. Oh, except that I wanted to be trading. Oh dear. I want to be trading the ES actually with this one because my account is bigger. So let's try that. Probably it will just take 2. And unfortunately, I missed most of the movement there. Okay. I think my other accounts just, or one of them at least, closed up. So that's good. Nope. Quite why it says I have 25,000 in that account. And the ES only takes 22,300 right now. So I'm not sure what the deal is there. That does not make sense. All right, so all my other positions are closed. And I was in a long, so that was good. Excellent. All right. All right. 200 with 80,000 invested. That's okay, but not the best. At least it was positive. That's good. All right, let's go back and look and see what happened with the other account. All right. Oh, we still seem to be in a position for some reason. Why? Oh, it's in a short. Good heavens, that is so weird. All right, so let's buy it out here. Surely it'll drop a little bit here, but maybe not. All right, since it didn't take, I'm gonna lower it down again. Crazy. Let's see, I think it'll get down to there. All right, let's go back and look at the IRA account and see. All right, so yeah, we made $93 with that one, and it's out. I'm not in a position, so that's good. And this, I'm not in a position. All right, so that's good. And then the margin account with the lesser amount, I'm in a short. Oh, there we go. That's why. Not confusing at all, right? Okay, so we went up and now we're dropping down again. That looks good. Looks really good. How about we just try to get out right there because that looks pretty good. I don't really want to be in a short right now. Ooh. All right, I think maybe we are heading up here very soon. Let's go reverse kind of an order here because I'm a little worried about this. Place another order, but this is looking really good for going up. That's crazy. Hasn't even taken it yet. Nuts. That is nuts. All right, finally. All right, let's go switch over to that IRA account too, because I like to trade that one when I'm a little more certain. And we'll switch to the ES. Yeah, do 2 orders, and I would like to get in a little bit better price. So like, right. Okay, you can kind of see back here, got this little bit of a shelf right through here. And that seems to be kind of where it's hesitating, right through there. So up to 89 right there. If I can get in at this price down here, that would be nice. That might be too low. Let's try to get in at 82. It'd be great if we could ride it up to that point. That's a pretty big trade. Might be asking too much, I don't know. Down there. I'm gonna leave it up there. Leave it right there. That's a decent spot. It could very well drop down to this point. 71, 10-point drop. Very, very possibly. Let's do that. All right, let's go back to the margin account and see what's going on with that. We're in a long. All right, I don't seem to have any bracketed orders here. Whatever happened to them, I don't know. Maybe I didn't put them in, I'm not sure. Okay, we've got stop order in there. And let's see, where's a good spot to put that? Right about there is fine. Okay, I'm not sure it's going to drop any further. I'll just go ahead and get in there. Alrighty then. There we go. I was on the wrong chart and I can't see all my lines. It's raining outside right now, so there's a thunderstorm. My power just kind of flickered a little bit. If I don't lose power in the middle of this. You know what? I think maybe I should just be done. Go ahead and get out here, hopefully. All right, I think we'll just call that good. It's about a $13 loss for the day. Not bad. And let's look at the other one. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. That is just wonderful. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring that up there and lower our expectations and just get out. That's ridiculous. It's like stuck right there. Great. Why is it still showing that I'm in a trade? Oh my word. Let's see, let's just say flatten. Oh man, that is so whacked out. All right, well, at any rate, I'm out. All right,